Get real advice about anything from two women who've experienced a lot of life. They want to share their joy and knowledge of life with you. These two women are young enough to remember and old enough to know.
And now the Chat with Women Network presents Two Big Women on a Couch with Kim and Terry.
Welcome to the Two Big Women on a Couch radio show. I'm Kim.
I'm Terry.
And we are two big women living large in a size 2 culture. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Rochelle and Pam. We are part of the Chat with Women Network.
We can be found here every second and fourth Thursday between 8 and 9 on Alternative Talk website, on Alternative Talk Radio. You can also find us on our website at twobigwomenonacouch.com.
We want you to grab your laptop, take a seat on our virtual couch. We are all about creating a happy place.
This is a place where you can grow, share, learn, and we'll support each other on this crazy ride we all call life.
And it is indeed a very crazy ride. So come on, laugh with us, cry with us, scream out loud if you need to. We are here for each other.
And I'm pleased to announce that our sponsor today for the Two Big Women on a Couch radio show is Rana Creek. Rana Creek is an ecological design firm specializing in environmental planning, landscape architecture, habitat restoration, and native plant propagation. They're located in Monterey, California. And Kim, I don't know if you've ever been over to Ballard to see the Ballard Library, but Rana Creek was absolutely responsible for the green roof there.
Yes, I know. They are a renowned and recognized company and worldwide.
Yep, you can find a list of their projects and services on www.ranacreek.com.
So definitely check out ranacreek.com and you will find some amazing stuff that they're doing. We want to talk today about fat discrimination and bullying, particularly in the workplace.
Yep, exactly. I think that that's really a growing phenomenon, and it seems to be the only place where actually covert and overt discrimination is not only allowed and tolerated, but it seems to be as if it's okay to make jokes and be funny.
Yeah.
And it was interesting when I was thinking about that, and thought we would talk about that on today's show. I did some research, and I just finished reading Weight Bias, a social justice issue. It was published by the Rudd Center, and with regard to obesity employment, it pointed out that if you have 2 equal job applicants of the same qualification and one person is of size or obese, the obese person is typically passed over
They're not going to get
for
the
the thin person.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I read that article as well, and I didn't have to read that article to really already see it happening. I already know what goes on. Isn't that pretty sad?
Yeah, it really is. It seems like people think they're unfit for a job once they have a face-to-face interview, and I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but over the phone, it feels like it's real positive and a real good, and plus, we really hit it off. And then when I get there, something seems to switch.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's interesting. But Kim, did you read about this where it was talking about that applicants are often viewed as to having poor self-discipline?
I did. But, before we talk about that, because I did read all of that article, and I was very astounded by, again, the findings and so forth. But did you see a show? It was a couple years ago, and I think it was called What Would You Do? And there was a show where they actually had a person applying. I think it was in a store, a nutrition store. And she was actually trying to apply for a job. It was a face-to-face kind of deal. And she was actually told in front of all these customers and everyone that she was not fit for the job.
Wow.
But the interesting about that show is when it was What Would You Do, a lot of people came to her defense.
Well, that's good.
I was pretty impressed with that.
I'm pleased to hear that.
Yeah,
that is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely what you were saying, that these applicants are often viewed as being very, I guess, not able to have good supervisory potential. They're also thought to have perhaps poor hygiene. Right, exactly. That is very sad and silly.
It's really... it's interesting. I don't even know where those ideas come from.
Look, less ambition and less productivity. Now, look, how hard have we worked?
Wow.
How hard do we work?
Well, I know that you've always been one of the top employees for any company you've worked at. You've served as a senior leadership position. And I know for myself, I've always been very successful in the workplace. I've always been in the top 5% of any company I've worked for. And we're both entrepreneurs and have our own business. And we both know how hard you have to work for that and really how determined you have to be.
Well, not only this poor hygiene thing is really bothering me because I take a shower every day, okay?
Sure.
Like every day. So, it's pretty silly, the things that they actually think,
know, it even throws back to some of the archaic views that we have about women or about other minorities. And, you know, even how people used to feel about the gay and lesbian population as well. And it's like, okay, so now we've gotten over all those, or we're working to get over all those things. Let's move forward here and get rid of the fat bias as well.
Exactly. So, you know, obese employees, they're offered, like you said, lower wages. They're less likely to be promoted. They're the first possibly to be fired. And it's all blamed on job performance.
Right.
You know, it's never said, okay, you don't fit.
Right, you don't fit. And I think employees...
Or you're too fat.
You're too fat, exactly. Exactly.
Which should never be the case.
No, and I also think they also think that heavy people or fat people will have will have a high absenteeism and not be at work because of their weight. And I, for one, never
100%
miss work.
attendance. 100% attendance. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I miss less work than anyone I know. So
it's really interesting too, because there are these unspoken things that happen in the workplace. And let me just share a story.
Please.
And maybe you'll share one as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, you know, I'd been the executive of an organization, so the top CEO of an organization, well, several times. So this way, nobody can identify which one it was. But anyway, and of this particular organization, we were about 5 years into my leadership in the organization, and I was doing we were doing extraordinary things. I mean, serving the population and, you know, raising the funds and doing everything we needed to do. And we had a little bit of a change in leadership on the board. Some new folks had been on maybe for a couple of years or so. And all of a sudden, they were asking me to take a physical and give them proof that I'd taken a physical. Now, first of all, I do my annual every year. And second of all, it was nobody's business what was contained in my annual, and nobody's business to tell me to do that. Period. But I thought, you know, look, everything is going well with this organization. What's really going on?
Were they asking everybody to take a physical?
Look, it wasn't in the policies. It wasn't. They weren't taking one. You know, none of that, right? So I thought, well, what is going on? Maybe they think that. I mean, there was nothing wrong in the organization. The money was where it belonged. The clients were being served. Everything was right, you know. And I thought, well, maybe they're thinking, I don't know, drugs or alcohol. I mean, I don't do any of those either. But I couldn't figure this out. It was baffling to me. And so finally, it came out that they just wanted me to take a physical because, you know, of my size. I was just. I wasn't embarrassed or anything. I was pissed.
Oh, yeah,
I was pissed.
and rightly so.
I was pissed, and I did not do the physical. So we got kind of through that. But here's the real thing. Here's the real kicker. So I was in the board chair's car one time. I just happened to get in the beautiful SUV. Now, this person was, I guess by American standards of beauty, probably would be considered, you know, very attractive and very, you know, height, weight, proportion, and all of those kind of things. So I get in the car, and I smell smoke. Like permeated through this like brand new car, nothing but cigarette smoke throughout this whole car. And I'm thinking, here's this person who's telling me to get all this physicals and stuff. She's hiding her own issues. See, mine is you can't look. You see me coming, okay? You can't miss me coming. All right.
That's right.
All right. So, but she's hiding her own stuff, you know. And I looked at her like, you're a smoker. And again, I got pissed again because I'm like, you know. She's like, well, yeah, you know, we couldn't deny it.
Wow, it's just really a shame, and for them to put you on the spot like that.
Well, to even think of something like that was just ridiculous.
And I'm glad that you didn't move forward and have the physical. Did they ever bring up anything around that again?
No, they didn't. They offered me all kinds of stuff, like gym memberships and all kinds of stuff. But, you know, it was like, what the heck?
And again, was that part of the package benefits for all the other employees?
It was not, nor when I got hired. So,
wow.
Absolutely. So anyway, this is a really, really important issue. Now, I know you
have
had some.
I have.
Can you share?
Yeah, absolutely. At a job I had in the past, when I first started there was somebody in a leadership position that for some reason I thought this individual just doesn't like me. And I couldn't figure out why. You know, I'd never even really had a conversation. They were in a leadership position. I didn't have a lot of contact with them, but they were a support position. And so when I would go to ask for assistance, they were always too busy. They were always, I can't help you. I'm not interested in helping you. And then it would turn and then talk to somebody else who was smaller and offer assistance.
Wow.
And I started really watching this behavior. And I thought, this guy doesn't like me because I'm large, you know? And I thought, this is really strange. So I really started keeping an eye on it. And I then began to come to work and feel bad every day. And I thought, what's this about? This isn't good.
No, that's not good.
And so I finally decided to do something about it. Finally decided to go talk to somebody about it. And I found out that other people, especially women of size, were having the same issues with him. And I said, we can't let this continue. And I think what we'll do is when we get back from the break, why don't we talk about what ended up happening with it and what other steps people can take towards empowering themselves against this issue.
We are Two Big Women on a Couch. This is a radio show. We're connected with Chat with Women, and we will be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Listen live at 1150kknw.com. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
You're simply the best. Better than all.
Welcome back to Two Big Women on a Couch radio show. I'm Kim.
I'm Terry.
And we are two big women living large in a size 2 culture.
Grab your laptop, take a seat on our virtual couch. We are creating a safe and happy place.
This is where you can grow, you can share, you can learn, and support each other on this crazy ride that we call life.
So come and laugh with us, cry with us, scream with us, and holler out loud. We are all here for each other.
We are here for each other.
Today's show is brought to you by Rana Creek. You can find them on the webs at www.ranacreek.com. We thank them for our support. Kim, in our last segment, we were talking about fat bias and bullying and the discrimination on the workplace.
And you were sharing your story.
Yeah, I was, and you had also shared yours. So as I said, and we really want to get into talking about how we can empower people and what we can do on a positive side to alleviate that issue. But as I was saying, I was really feeling badly when I was coming to work. I didn't really want to be there. And so I finally decided to take action and talk to a supervisor about it and found out that other people had felt the same way. So I really began to write down incidences that I felt like were discriminatory and where I actually saw what I felt like was unfair and uncalled for behavior and treatment.
And how long was that process of writing it down?
It didn't take long. It only took me a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So then the next thing is I presented it to, we're fortunate enough to have an ethics board, and I presented it to them, and action was taken, and eventually this person was removed from employment with the position. But again, I think it's only until we take charge of people discriminating against us that changes will happen.
It's really too bad that it comes down to that kind of thing, but really powerful for you for taking action and feeling empowered to do so and taking it all the way to the ethics board.
I think those are the kind of things you have to do. So
really, I mean, I think it's important that people, when they want to know what bullying in the workplace or what discrimination in the workplace is all about, they have to understand that it can be physical, it can be verbal, all types of. People can be humiliated. People can be undermined so that they can't do their job. In fact, I know someone who's going through that right now. Just every time she tries to move forward, she's always being undermined. So it always looks like she's not getting her stuff done. Yeah. And she's having to work 2-3 times as hard to kind of get it done. She's definitely being bullied in the workplace. So some examples. Maybe you can give some examples of.
Well, I know that there's people that are physically abused and verbally abused would be an example of certainly workplace bullying and discrimination. If you're being blamed as the cause of the problem, or that you somehow, you were somehow responsible for a problem where you didn't have any responsibility in, that's certainly a form of discrimination. Given way too much to do. And I know somebody in that situation right now as well. And I'm sure it's because the woman, one, it's a woman, and I think there's definitely still discrimination around that. 2, she's a large woman, and I think she's given way too much to do on her plate and expected to do way more than what other people at her same level are expected to do.
Is she sometimes being threatened to maybe be fired?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, so that's another
all the
example.
time.
Wow.
And it's interesting, but bullying can be done not just in a face-to-face manner, but it can be done over the phone. It can be done in faxes, and I think where we really see this happening is on social networking and on emails at this time. Inappropriate jokes are being sent.
And so what is really being done? I mean, it's amazing that this kind of behavior, that people think it's okay. I mean, it really is just so sad that we haven't moved behind, beyond this and so forth. So, I was thinking about this and thinking, what are the real positive steps that we can do? How can we empower people around this fat bullying and discrimination issue?
Well, I think first of all, we need to know that our employees have a duty of care, and that's actually a legal term, a duty of care.
What does that mean?
They're responsible, to protect people against discrimination, and they're responsible for taking measures to stop it.
So what does that look like? I mean, obviously, you would get advice, and what happens after that? What are they supposed to do?
Well, I think what you need to do, first of all, before anything else, when you get the feeling, I think we need to rely on our instincts. I think our instincts are usually always true to us. So I think they need to speak to someone on how they might deal with a problem informally.
So maybe informally first?
Informally first.
Okay.
They might want to talk to an employee representative. Maybe they have a trade union official or a trade union official that's on the floor working with them. Maybe there's somebody in human resources they could talk to. And again, if it's not your manager or supervisor,
you would go to them.
You could go to them,
right,
yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So sometimes there's some specially trained staff that can help with that, is what you're saying, I guess. And the harassment advisors, maybe they're called?
Yeah, or, they're just people that have that responsibility to handle those things. Okay. And definitely if you expect, and this is what I did, because I felt like the behavior was really impacting me physically, I went to my doctor. I was under so much stress. So I went to my doctor so they could also, I'd have physical evidence of that it was because of the stress that I was put under.
Wow. Did you have to use that? I mean,
I didn't have to use that, but I had it there and had it available. And, I needed to see a doctor anyway because of that. I mean, anytime you're feeling
stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good work that you did personally, and great advice, I think. And I think one of the most important things I heard you say is to just keep writing down the details and everything that you can keep that's relevant, all the documents and all the data that you can keep and keep that in place. That's really the first important step.
Well, you'll need that, I think, if you're making a formal complaint, and you don't just need to write down the incident and what happened, but you need to date that and write down the time that happened. Also, maybe if there was any witnesses.
Okay. Well, it's kind of scary, though, to go through a process like this. I mean, it can be people think they're going to lose their job. They think more retaliation is going to come. Now, when you do a formal grievance, that cuts off the process of anybody firing you or anything like that. That's a fact. You cannot, once you put in a formal grievance, they have to work it through the process.
They have to work through the process, and you are protected. They cannot fire you because of filing a legal grievance against, or a formal grievance against the company and or the officials that work for that company. Okay. So yeah, it's real important to keep that in mind and to understand your rights. And these rights may vary from state to state, or county to county, or city to city. So it's important that you may even want to talk to somebody.
You need to study and learn while you go through it. And that can be really hard sometimes to kind of figure out, what do I need to do when you're under all of that pressure and so forth, trying to get through it. But really,
and it takes courage. I mean, if Absolutely. I cannot tell you how hard it is to actually do that, because for one, if you're like me, and I know like yourself, this is not what I want to do when I go to work. I just want to go do my work and go home.
Do a great job
and go home. I want to feel like I'm part of the team, that I'm supporting the team effort in whatever my position and role is, and go home. So then when you're faced with this, sometimes you're like, I think sometimes we don't look at it really for what it is initially, until we just can't put up with it anymore. Because we don't want to deal with it. We just want to do our work.
We just want to do our work, and it gets, and then you have, all the stressors of your life otherwise. I mean, people have to deal with the issues that their children are going through, the issues that maybe their family or what, all these stuff, all these things that are going on in life anyway. And so when you go to your job and they make you feel less productive, they make you feel like you don't belong there, and you can't really put your finger on it, it can be just so overwhelming. So
well, it's that feeling of just being less than. And
it's a terrible feeling.
And less than because I'm more than.
Right. Good point. Very good point. Very good point.
It's like, what's that about?
Exactly.
Really, I'm not less than.
Right, exactly.
So,
wow.
Yeah, well, I think that really happens. And I think it's really important that if you are going to make it formal, and if you don't feel like you have the support from the company or management at that time, I think the other thing you really need to do is seek out legal advice, and not just any legal advice.
You need to get somebody who's really, really good in this particular field, workplace discrimination. If you're going to get legal advice, really go for the top. Go for the best.
And many people will have that listed in their yellow pages, or if you go online and Google employment discrimination, employment bullying, attorneys that just specialize in that. And the next thing I think you should do is, when you go in to have the initial conversation with that attorney, you might ask if there's other references that they could provide for you, so you could talk to somebody else even to see if they felt like they were really cared for and supported. Because again, this just isn't the legal issue, it's the emotional support that you need as well. So I also think it's good to seek out a friend that you can share with what's happening to you that will really be supportive of you and really support you through the process, because it's not easy. And when you have to still go back into work every day and people know that you filed a grievance against the organization,
It's a tough place to be.
that can be a tough place
It's
to
a
be as
really
well.
tough place to be.
And you really want to know that you're supported by some, a friend, family members that can really take care of you during that time.
So when you went through your process, how would you, can you tell us how long of a process was that?
It happened fairly quickly. And I had, when I found out and when I took charge of it, I had found out that apparently some things had happened in the past with this individual as well. So it was it happened fairly quickly. And I will tell you that I was really supported at home by my husband and my partner, who really took good care of me and certainly said that, you really need to do this. And if you don't, it means that you're allowing something to happen to you. And I would never allow someone to physically abuse me.
Right.
Or emotionally or mentally abuse me, and that means in the workplace too, and you have to take a stand for that.
Well, the reason I ask you that question is because sometimes people's the process goes a lot longer, and they can be in that process for quite some time. And I think again, when you're in something and you feel like you're never going to get out of it, like you're in the middle of this thing and it's just going on and on and on, can be very challenging as well. So I guess the point is it can be a short and quick kind of thing,
right?
Particularly in your case, because there was already stuff going on against this individual, or it can be a process that goes for quite some time.
That's really true. And again, I just can't say that. Make sure you seek out local resources. It's so important. Every state, county, and city also has the labor and industry.
Absolutely.
They have other employment supports.
And it's all accessible. Just go to the web.
It's all
find
accessible.
It.
You just have to find it and then really use those resources. And if they're not helping you, ask who can help me in this matter.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we hope that this was some good information for our listeners. We are going to cut to break. We are Two Big Women on a Couch. This is our radio show, part of the Chat with Women Network, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
In you. Radio with no added hormones or preservatives. All natural alternative talk, 1150 AM.
Tell me something good.
Welcome back to the Two Big Women on the Couch radio show. I'm Kim.
I'm Terry.
We are two big women living large in a size 2 culture. We are part of the Chat with Women Network. We want you to grab your laptop, take a seat on our virtual couch. We are all about creating a safe and happy place.
This is a place where you can grow, share, and learn. We'll support each other on this crazy ride we all call life.
And we always say it is a very crazy ride. So we want you to come laugh with us, scream out loud if you need to, cry with us if you need to. We are here for each other. Well, welcome back. We hopefully the rest of the show we're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of women are going to be interested in. So if you are a fashionista or a future fashionista, we want you tuned in, because you're not going to want to miss this. We have a special guest. Terry,
We
you want to
do,
introduce her?
yes, I do. Yes, please welcome local plus-size fashion maven Lindsay Kumka to the show. Lindsay owns a plus-size boutique, Trade Chic, in downtown Redmond.
We're so happy you're here, Lindsay. Thank you very much for being on our show.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
How long have you worked in the plus-size fashion industry? And tell us some about your background, please, Lindsay.
Well, it's not only that I've worked in it, I've been plus size my entire life, and I've worked professionally in plus size for about 8 years now. I started as a teenager working as a plus size model, and then I moved to New York from Seattle, and I actually worked in fashion over there, and I worked in public relations as well as wardrobe consulting and a personal shopper, and now I own Trade Chic as well as a plus-size dress brand.
Wow.
Well, you are definitely the person then to kind of share with us this morning. So we're very, very pleased that you're here. And, you know, I woke up to a really cold, a cold time here in Seattle. It was so cold this morning. And I had to catch the ferry. So, you know, the water was definitely making it even colder coming across. And, but one of the things we know is that summer is coming up on us. You know, spring and summer are pretty much, I think they're coming in Seattle. I can't tell.
I'm hoping with you.
I really can't tell the day. But anyway, what we'd like to know really are the trends, and there are new trends that happen, you know, all the time. So what are some of the trends that you're seeing, particularly in fashion as it relates to this time of year, spring and summer?
Yeah, spring trends are always the most exciting. It's the biggest time in fashion. You know, all the designers love to go all out for spring and fall, as we know. And, you know, every year we kind of see similar fabrics and things, obviously, because, you know, summer's hot. We want to wear lightweight fabrics. But this year I'm seeing more dresses than I've ever seen before, especially maxi dresses. And I have countless people asking me if I'm carrying maxi dresses in the store. So I know that maxi dresses are going to be big this year. And they're perfect for women with an average height or any size bust. So they're kind of ideal for a lot of body types. And, you know, they come in a lot of different styles, like a halter neck versus a wide strap, which is great, you know, depending on your bust size. If you're smaller in the bust, go for the halter top. And if you're a bit larger in the bust, try the wider strap with a little more support. Other dresses, you know, if you're a little bit taller, maybe try a T-length dress. And if you're a bit more petite, then try an above-the-knee, kind of like a bandeau dress, you know, the dresses with the stretchy bust that often, you know, swim cover-ups will be a bandeau type style. Those are great. And you can always throw a little lightweight cardigan over them, and those will be comfy and airy, and you'll stay cool in those.
And Lindsay, I'm just going to insert something here. You said a T-length. I'm not familiar with that. What is that?
That is just below the knee. So, yeah, and if you're a bit taller, just below the knee could translate into at the knee or a little above the knee once you've got that on. So that's why I say that, just so that you're not running into something that's a bit too short for you when the summer wind blows. So maxi dresses just means any sort of long dress, like an ankle-length kind of dress. So you'll see a lot of, you know, most summer dresses kind of, they go with the maxi look, like a long, flowing, maybe like a print or a really lightweight fabric. I was at the mall yesterday and I already saw a couple out for the summer. You know, like Macy's is a great place for dress shopping. I find, not to give them a plug, but you know, I'm frequently there. But there's brand INC. They make really great plus size maxi dresses. I own a couple of them. They're great for. I'm not the bustiest person, but they're great for just like the average bust size, you know, and they have some really cute styles this year, too. All
right, you're talking a lot about the dresses and so forth, and now we've got some great definitions of that and some things to wear. Tell us about the pants and so forth, because some of us tend to prefer pants.
Yeah, so, you know, there's always the crop
pants.
and the capri pant, or my personal favorite is shorts, and I like to wear little skirts, but a lot of people aren't as willing to show off their legs in the summer, and that's totally fine. When buying capri or shorts or clam diggers or, you know, whatever you call them, I would recommend going for a dark denim. That's going to flatter the leg a lot more than a light denim, and it also looks a lot more crisp and clean and professional, especially if you still need to go to work in the summer if you're not a teacher or, you know, someone lucky. So yeah, stick to dark denim. They're going to slim the leg out a bit, and it also just looks a lot nicer than a light wash denim, which is a lot more casual.
Well, I have a question for you. What about, going back to the maxi dresses, I could as well. You said that those are appropriate for plus-size women, but what about the prints, and not only for those dresses, but other things in general? I've always heard that plus-size women shouldn't wear a lot of prints.
Yeah, there's different stuff that we hear we shouldn't wear that just don't make us look bigger or whatever.
I was actually going to address that, so I'm glad you asked. As far as prints go, and prints are, no pun intended, they're huge right now. They're, you know, the floral prints, I'm sure you've seen them everywhere. There's a lot of tribal prints right now, and nautical prints, you know, stripes, which is a really good one to talk about. Every day I have customers ask me, well, I can't wear stripes. My mom told me, or my grandma told me, that wearing horizontal stripes is unflattering. Well, I say that, traditions are meant to be broken, and or not traditions, but old sayings or whatever. The nautical stripes are super cute. I would say avoid the wide stripes, though. I mean, keep the stripes on your patterns under a couple inches, just so it's not just these skinny stripes are trendy, wide stripes are not.
Okay.
I don't know how else to say that, but and then also as far as floral prints go. The smaller the flower, the better.
I agree.
Oh, okay, I agree.
I'd
Yeah,
have to
I
agree.
agree.
Print small.
But
and that
I
kind
don't
of
know.
goes for any kind of print. The bigger the flower, the bigger you're going to look, or
Right,
it's going to draw
right.
your eye outward
Right,
instead of
mhm.
inward and make you look larger. So
Okay.
ditzy prints are really great, and a ditzy print is any sort of tiny repeating floral print. It's kind of where everything in the fabric is a flower, not like a white dress with flowers here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, ditzy prints I love. They're super cute. They work. They're modern, and I think they're flattering.
Oh, thank you for that. And you know what? I know that I'm planning to go to a wedding here not too far off in the near future. I know we've got graduations coming up and a lot of places where people would actually need to look their best. What do you suggest for plus size women in those situations?
Well, I frequently get customers looking for appropriate outfits to wear to weddings, and one of the most popular dilemmas with spring and summer semi-formal dresses is that they're often sleeveless. And
Yes.
I have most people that are plus size, they always tell me they don't want to show their arms.
Their arms out, yeah.
You know, I won't show my arms either. It's just my comfort level, and I always throw a little bolero or a cardigan over dresses. So I found a brand out of California, actually. It's called Kiana, and they make beautiful semi-formal dresses and also casual dresses and separates. But this one dress they have is it's a very pretty lace, and it comes, they have all sorts of colors, but it's very elegant, flattering, fashionable, very simple, and it has a nice fitted layer of lace, 3/4 sleeve on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super pretty. I mean, it goes with a nice pair of pearls, or you can wear it, you could get the black one and wear it out dancing. It's kind of, you can go from day to evening, a day wedding to an evening wedding, anything like that. But it's great because it's just simple and elegant, and it doesn't age you in any way. It's appropriate for a lot of different people. And it covers your arms, and it's a good length, and it flatters your hips and your bust and all of the good stuff. So that is something that I usually recommend. But if you're looking for no lace or anything else, I would say stick with a dress.
Okay.
I'm a big advocate of dresses today, but you can always get a cute, like a silk or a cotton dress with a small floral print, or just something, an elegant, a solid, and you can add some cool details like a little lightweight jacket or a little sweater or some cool jewelry that will draw your attention to detail instead of maybe what you might be hiding.
Right.
Oh,
right,
good.
right.
Thank you.
Well, this is really, really great. It sounds like there's certainly something out there for everyone. I mean, there's something that each one of us can choose from what you're talking about. So I have this dreaded beach question, okay? Because I like to swim. We don't really have beaches around here, but I like to swim and so forth. So when I get to go south or the Florida or wherever I get to travel to, I like to. I got to cover up quite a bit, but I still like to get out there. So what can we wear to the beach? What can we wear to the beach that's flattering and comfortable?
That's a good question. My favorite beach accessory is a caftan. Have you guys heard of caftans?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
So usually they're like a lightweight, maybe a chiffon or just some super lightweight, usually see-through kind of material. And they do have full-length sleeves or 3/4 sleeves, and they usually hit about at the thigh. And they're just kind of, in theory, a cover-up, but they're appropriate to put over your bathing suit, to wear to dinner or, wherever you are at the beach, walk around. And they're usually very pretty. I actually personally have one that's a black chiffon or see-through, I'm not sure the exact fabric, with some gold beading, and it's gorgeous, and I could throw on a pair of jeans with that and wear that in the summer, even with just a tank top underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great because it gives you a comfort level when you're out at the beach, not necessarily running around, in your two-piece, but it gives you a comfort level while you're sitting there that you're a little bit more covered up while still looking cute and trendy and not looking obvious like you're trying to hide behind a towel or a big beach cover-up or something.
Right.
So I love those. And as far as bathing suits go, one of my favorite swimsuits is an inexpensive brand out of the UK called Evans, and they make these bathing suits, I'm telling you, amazing. They are extra supportive in the bust and adjustable straps for, not all of us are the same height or, torso length or anything. So those are great. And then they also cover your butt and thighs without looking skirted like a big plus-size bathing suit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So those are great, and they come, basic colors. They're not these big floral prints, so those are awesome. And they kind of, they're made to flatter your figure and kind of suck you in a little bit. So.
Lindsay, what about accessories for the spring and summer? Anything with accessories? And is there ever a too big accessory? Because I don't feel that way.
Are you a big necklace wearer?
Necklace, earrings, bracelets. That nothing could be too big.
I see. Well, I've seen a lot of the clear beads. Have you been out and seen those? A lot of necklaces made with white and clear plastic beads and glass beads.
Uh-huh.
Those look really cool, and they match everything because they're clear. So I've seen those paired with a lot of the tribal kind of styles, the printed stuff. And I've also seen a lot of jewel tones for the summer. And usually in the summer or the spring-summer, we see pastels a lot. And this year I'm seeing a lot of jewelry with either earth tones or the gem tones, which is interesting.
All right. Well, Lindsay, we're going to get you back in just a few minutes. We do have to cut to a break, and we'll be back. We are Two Big Women on a Couch. This is our radio show, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Two Big Women on a Couch radio show. I'm Kim.
I'm Terry.
And we are two big women living large in a size 2 culture. We want you to grab your laptop, take a seat on our virtual couch. We are all about creating a safe and happy place.
A place where you can grow, share, and learn. We'll support each other on this crazy ride we all call life.
The crazy ride we call life. We want you to come laugh with us, cry with us, scream out loud if you need to. We are here for each other. Well, welcome back. You are tuning in to Two Big Women on a Couch radio show, part of the Chat with Women Network. And if you're just joining us, we are chatting with Lindsay Krimhaw, the owner of Plus Size Boutique, Trade Chic in downtown Redmond. Lindsay, you were kind enough to stick around with us to answer now some of our members' questions about fashion. So we've, from our twobigwomenonacouch.com website, we did a survey, and we had a couple of folks that responded and need their questions answered.
So the first one, Lindsay, is we had a woman by the name of Wall Lady Blues. She wrote in to ask us how she can learn to dress better. She says she doesn't want to look floppy, sloppy, or awkward. And she says that she doesn't like to continually just wear loose-fitting clothes, but it makes it hard because she's also very, very short. And she doesn't know how to balance her desire to wear loose clothes that are flattering that doesn't make her look like she's swimming in them. How can she get her clothes fitted properly without having to always go to a tailor and getting them altered?
Good question. There's a lot of brands that cater to plus-size women with a petite frame without losing the roominess in the bust and hips and butt and thighs like a lot of the petite brands do. Two of my favorite brands for this that aren't made for petite women, but they lean on the petite side are one is Miss Curvista, which I saw at my store, and it's cute, it's stylish, it's extremely affordable. They shorten sleeves and dress lengths for petite women, but that they leave the styles roomy in the places that they need it. And the styles are all up to date. They're very trendy. They're cute, and they're also they're not. They do make some pretty form-fitted dresses and things, but they have a lot of really nice, flowy, kind of cute, casual tops and dresses and pants that are great for pulling off that loose on purpose kind of look. Mm-hmm. And then another brand that is a little more well known is Michael Kors, and he makes his styles that are appropriate for short and petite women. He doesn't make many long tunic type styles that wouldn't work for someone under 5'5", let's say. So a lot of his tops hit at the hip or the top of your jeans, or just over your waist, not your waist, your where the top of your jeans hit, I guess, goes a little below that. So, and his jackets, the sleeve lengths are a little shorter, the top sleeve lengths are a little shorter. So he's a great brand to look at if you're having trouble with petite clothing. And I think you can find that at Nordstrom or Macy's or one of the department stores.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we did have a few folks, like I said, that wrote in and wanted their questions answered. So I'm wondering if you might give the same advice to this particular person. Her name is Candle Lady on our site. And her big thing was she wants to wear loose clothing, but she doesn't want to look like she's wearing a bag. And I think you'll find that a lot of, plus-size women, feel like, okay, they say we don't want to look like we're wearing a tent or a bag or whatever. So
right. Right. Well, while we're on the subject of summer, too, something that's really great that is supposed to look loose but also be fashionable are linen tunics. Have you guys seen linen tunics? They're kind of
love them.
A very simple cut, made
Absolutely.
of a lightweight kind of linen.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's really great at those is Ralph Lauren. He makes really nice plus size tunics. He goes up to a size 3X or a 24, and they're always very crisp looking. They look put together, they look clean, they look fashionable, but they're still a nice kind of loose, baggy kind of look, but they're intended to look that way. So no one will ever look at you and say, oh, she's wearing baggy clothes. They're going to look and say, gosh, that's such a cute tunic top. I want one, So those are a really good start. And something else that has been around for a while is leggings. And I know some people are kind of scared to wear them right now, or haven't quite gotten into them yet. It took me like 2 years to put my first pair on. But leggings are great if you pair it with a long tunic. And any height can do this. It just depends. You have to find the right tunic length for you. But there's a lot of like the hanky hem kind of shirts. Where the sides of the shirt dip lower than the front of the shirt. Mm-hmm. And that's really popular right now. So that's a way to be trendy while also wearing loose-fitting, comfy clothes.
Mm-hmm. I think that those are really good advice. And I'm just going to throw something else in here. I think it's hard sometimes to find things that are age-appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially as women start to age, and plus-size women as well, you really don't want to look just old and frumpy all the time. But at the same time, you don't want to look like a 16-year-old.
Exactly, yeah. And that is actually a common struggle. I hear that every day. There's stores out there that cater to, kind of more career women, and then there's the stores that cater to the teenagers. And where is the in between, or where is the store that caters to everyone? And I try and supply to this demand, but it is really hard to find age appropriate stuff, especially when not every 35 or 40-year-old dresses like every other 35 or 40-year-old. It's really hard to find clothes that fit everyone's personality and age appropriateness. So, I say take a friend with you, or come see me, and I'll give you some help or advice. But it's about finding your comfort in what you're wearing, and also flattering your figure,
rocking your style.
Yeah, exactly.
Lindsay, what do you think the 5 must-haves are in any plus-size woman's closet? What must we have?
5 things. My first thing, and I promote these people like till my grave, and I don't know why, but a pair of Spanx is number 1 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wear Spanx every single day. It makes me feel confident and more comfortable in my outfits, and it allows me to wear more fitted clothes, which I feel more comfortable in. I feel more comfortable when I can show off what I have of a figure, my smaller waist and my shapely legs and stuff. I like to wear fitted clothes. So Spanx are really great for that. They're also awesome if you need to go to a wedding and you're wearing kind of a dress that might be a little out of your comfort zone. They're going to suck you in. They're going to smooth you out. They're awesome. Love them.
What else?
A supportive bra that's also sexy. Hard to find the two together, but try it, because you won't feel sexy unless you've got some, head to toe, all your layers of your clothing look good. And also, the first step to making clothes look great on you is having a great bra that fits you and gives you a good shape.
And your third suggestion?
A nice pair of dark denim jeans.
Okay.
as I said earlier, the dark denim flatters the leg, and they just make you look classy and put together no matter what you're wearing.
All right.
And let's see, my fourth would be a little black dress.
Cute.
Never know when you would need one. You know, you might just pull it out of the closet on Saturday night when you're going out with the girls, or you might have an event to go to that you weren't planning on, but have a nice, classic little black dress in your closet for sure. And let's see, my last thing I think is a pair of heels.
Oh.
Pair of heels.
All right.
nice pair of heels will make any girl feel feminine and sexy, and especially to match that little black dress.
Very
So,
good. Very good.
yeah.
Well, we really thank you for your fashion advice this morning, Lindsay.
No problem.
I
I appreciate you guys having me here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I learned quite a bit. And Terry, I know you're walking away with some stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate your advice.
All right. So listen, do not forget to check out Lindsay's boutique. It's Trade Chic in Redmond, and you can find more at tradechic.net.
Thanks again, Lindsay. We hope that you all enjoyed the show today. You feel empowered to take a stand against bullying and workplace discrimination,
and I really
you can do it in style.
That's what I'm saying. Look good. Look good while you're doing it. Absolutely. So we want you to join us again.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Rana Creek. You can find them at www.ranacreek.com.
We are proud to be a part of the Chat with Women Network. I'm Kim.
I'm Terry.
And we are Two Big Women on a Couch. We definitely want you to go to twobigwomenonacouch.com and join our community. There's so much going on. So definitely go to twobigwomenonacouch.com.
I'm going